good evening, or I should probably say good morning, since it is early Sunday morning, because I fell asleep last night and totally crashed out. It was such an exciting Saturday night. Oh my gosh. We sat around last night. Should I tell my day in background? Or background? Should I tell my day backwards last night? So what happened was, how did it go? So anyway, Alex and I filmed a review video yesterday. He just kind of hung out all day yesterday. He didn't really do a whole lot. He slept in really late because he had the day off. He didn't have anything to do yesterday, or today, Saturday, yesterday now. He didn't have anything to do, so he slept in really late. He was really happy about that. And then, and I had gone and gotten coffee and run errands and stuff like that. And he slept in and then watched a bunch of TV, caught up on a lot of his TV. Where is my lip stuff? My lip stuff. And then, early evening, we filmed a review video of the Flaming Hot Doritos. So that's over on the review channel if you want to go check that out. We had fun doing that. And he loved them. I did not love them. And then, I had some hummus and some chips, and we watched RuPaul's Drag Race. Got caught up in that. He made pizza rolls. That was his dinner for the evening. And he basically all day, my husband was in he's been wearing his new robe that I got him for Christmas. He loves it. And he was in his robe and his pajama pants and t-shirt all day today. So then Sarah, his best friend, called, and she was bored, so she wanted to come over and hang out. So she came over while we were watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and she brought her dog. And it was so cute because the dogs were running around playing and stuff like that. And Boo Radley does not do well with other people that he doesn't really like. Well, he knows Sarah, but he doesn't know her dog real well. And so Tucker and her dog knew each other really, or they got along really well, and PB got along with her really well, and they were playing and stuff on the floor. But Boo Radley was up on me the whole time this, I don't know that dog, I'm scared of that dog. And it was so cute. So anyway, so she was there for the tail end of RuPaul's Drag Race, and then they wanted to watch the Fire Festival documentary, which I had already watched. So they started watching it, and then Tanya texted me and she was like, do you want to get a fountain pop? So I told Alex, I was like, do you guys care if I go get a fountain pop with Tanya? Because I've already seen this. And they were like, no, not at all. So we had all the candles lit in the house. It was real nice tonight. And although I forget sometimes how strong those Bath & Body Works or White Barn Candle Company candles are. Sarah said that she went the day that they had their massive sale. And she got there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And she said all of their candles were super, super cheap. I go, how many candles did you get? And she goes, I got 18 candles. I was like, you got 18 candles? She's like, yeah, they were super cheap. I was like, oh my God. So I went with Tanya and I took her to get a fountain pop. I did not get anything. I didn't even get a bottle of water. I just took her there. And then we drove around and talked for a little bit. We got a bunch of snow today, or tonight. We got 1.5 inches or 2 inches of snow, and it was really slick earlier. Now it's they've cleaned off the streets. But earlier, it was really, really slick, and it was snowing hard. Kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't know that we were getting any snow. So that was fun. So Tanya and I hung out, and we didn't hang out for that long. I got back to the house at 10:30ish, and they were finishing the fire documentary, and Sarah was telling me, I have this light on in my car, I don't know which one it is. It looks like it's my headlights, but it's not my headlights. I don't know what it is. So anyway, we were talking about some of the people in the documentary. I guess this woman that lived on Grand Exuma, there's like a really sad part of the fire documentary. This woman that, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody because I know people don't like that, but this woman loses a lot of money. And apparently there was like a GoFundMe and they raised all this money for her. She said she read some article about it, which is really nice. So anyway, I was so tired. And they were talking about like watching another movie or something, and so I was like trying to like sit up or stay up like while they were like figuring out what they were gonna watch or whatever. And I was like, I don't think I can watch a movie. I'm so tired. So I said, well, I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit. And Alex is like, at this point it was like 11:45. It wasn't 11 yet. And he was like, are you going to bed for the night? I thought you had a vlog. And I was like, I do, but I just want to lay down for like 45 minutes. I'm so tired, which you guys know how that goes, right? And I totally crashed out. Like, totally crashed out. And he came upstairs not much later. She left. I guess they didn't end up watching a movie. And he was like, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. And so he went to bed early. I went to bed. I was in bed and asleep, excuse me, by 11 p.m. on Saturday night. And I woke up a couple times throughout the night. I was just exhausted. I don't know why. I slept so good though, and it was so cozy in bed. And we always like pile on all these old blankets, you know, like when it gets cold, even though it doesn't like really get that cold in our bedroom, but we always like bring out all these blankets out of the closet. And I have this like old quilt right now that I've had for like years and years and years. I can't remember, one of my relatives gave it to me, but it's like this old quilt. And whenever I have it on the bed, I always remember that, like, do you guys know that John Denver song? It's like Grandma's Feather Bed. I always think of that whenever I have this, what do you call it, on this quilt on the bed. It's so cozy. Boo Radley was real close to me last night, and Pee-Pee and Tucker were laying at the end of the bed playing with toys, and we're gonna go to brunch with Sarah's gonna go with us to brunch tomorrow. And then tomorrow I have the, which this should be by the time that I'm doing this, but I have the Stranger Beside Me live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouNow, which is linked below. And we will probably talk about the Stranger Beside Me, but we'll also be talking, I'm sure, about Ted Bundy and other things to do with that case and other cases. So feel free to come join us. We always talk about the book, the actual book, for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then we talk about a bunch of other stuff. So it's fun. So come in and join us if you want. And then, let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. And that's about all I have planned for tomorrow. So I don't know. I mean, other than that, like make some videos probably, and just hang out with Alex, watch a movie in the evening, maybe, something like that. We've been wanting to go see a movie, but when it's really cold out like this, like, Alex kind of hibernates. Like, if he doesn't have to, like, I was kind of surprised he didn't go out and do something tonight. Sarah's not big on going out. I mean, she enjoys going out and stuff like that, but she also enjoys staying in. And so, but like, in the winter, Alex, like, hibernates a lot. Like, he doesn't like to go, you know, out in the cold in the winter a whole lot at all. So anyway, yeah, that was tonight. Today I got up and went and got coffee and did my prayers, my meditations. You know what I haven't been doing lately, which is really interesting, since I just bought it. Well, not just even, it was like weeks ago, I bought a huge container of that cup of coffee face mask. I haven't been doing a face mask in the morning. Like, I used to do it, do you guys remember? I used to do it like every day. And then because I was told I shouldn't do it every day, I started doing it every other day. I've just kind of stopped doing that. I will tell you that this vlog, the true story, is not going to be long today. Because it's late and I'm tired and I just don't want to be out super late. So I'm going to try to aim this at being around about a half an hour and people can catch up a little bit. What was I going to say? Yeah, I haven't been doing those face masks as often. So maybe this week I'll start doing those again. So I got up, I went and got coffee, I ran a few errands that I had to do, I came back, I made a few videos, I drove around, just talked on the phone for a little while, to some friends. I did a Peterisms video, and then I did my review of The Stranger Beside Me, because that's the live stream that we're doing tomorrow. And then I did the review of the Doritos. Why is it so busy? Mel and I talked last night, and I was like, I said, how strongly do you feel about reading In Cold Blood by Truman Capote? She's like, yeah, I don't really care either way. She's like, I'm not like really stuck on that book. And I was like, I kind of want to read something about the Green River Killer right now, because supposedly Ted Bundy had a lot of input into that case. And she's like, well, a lot of people in the book club have, like in the thread, have been discussing how they want to read something about the Green River Killer. So I said, well, let's put a poll up and see what people would rather do. And the poll at the time that I went to bed was really neck and neck as to what people wanted to do. I should pull in here and look, but it seemed like people really wanted to read In Cold Blood, which I'm totally fine with. I mean, like I could, you know, I'll read whatever. I'm gonna pull into Home Depot and I'm gonna see what the poll said. At the time I went to bed, it was like 9 and 8. Like 9 people said they wanted to read. I don't really care either way, honestly. I just want people to be happy with whatever we're reading. Snow drifts out here. Apparently they don't expected a huge crowd up at the Home Depot because they sure didn't clean the parking lot. Okay. That's funny. Mel texted me like in the middle of the night. She's like, the poll's actually. Do I have my reading glasses with me? I do. Because I can hardly read anymore without my reading glasses on. What is this person wanting from me? No, that made me nervous. Did you see that? They like stopped right by me. I didn't like that. I'm like in an empty parking lot and that person pulled up right next to my driver's window. I don't like that. $1,249 members in the group. Why did that person just stop and look at me? I don't like that. That made me really nervous. I don't think I can get to the polls from here. Yeah. That was weird. I didn't like that. Like, they literally pulled up right next to me and stopped. That was creepy. Anyway. Okay. Well, I think because so many people were like, I read in the because I announced it underneath my video, and a lot of people were like, well, I already got the book, or I wish we would read In Cold Blood. I think we should just probably read In Cold Blood. But, and we've got 10 more months after that to read other stuff. It was just like after I read the Ted Bundy book, especially when I started watching the documentary on Netflix, which is very scary, I will tell you. I get real weird vibes after I've read it, or after I've watched it, even just for like 20 minutes. I don't know why. Like, I get kind of very, very creeped out. I was talking to Tanya about that tonight, because she watched the whole thing, and I said, Tanya, you watched it? I said, that really surprises me, because Tanya's not somebody that watches like really creepy stuff. And she was like, yeah, I didn't have any problem at all. She was like, but what was weird was when it was over. And I go, what do you mean? She goes like, well, when I would stop each episode, because I was at the kennel by myself. And she was like, it kind of really creeped me out. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm telling you. I was like, it wasn't while I was watching it that I was creeped out about it. It was like when it was like over that I was creeped out by it. She was like, yeah, I totally relate to what you're saying. But it was just weird like that. And, but at the beginning of the documentary, they reference like John Wayne Gacy, The Hillside Strangler, The Son of Sam. And those were like the books that I really want to read this year. Because I don't really know a lot specifically about each case. And it's interesting to me. So I'd like to read, you know. Well, we are going to read Son of Sam this summer. But I think that took place like in July and August. So I think we're going to read it in one of those months, because it was like during the blackouts in New York City in the summer. And then, what was the other one that we're going to read in the summer? The Columbine book we're going to read in April, because it's the anniversary of it. We might read that one kid's mom's book. I think his last name was Klebold. She actually has a TED Talks, which is really, really well done. Did you guys ever see that movie, We Need to Talk About Kevin? I think that's what it was called. That movie was so creepy. And, oh my God, so Tanya and I were talking about like just serial killers and stuff tonight. And back in the day, there was this Lifetime documentary called I Know My First Name is Steven. And it was a true story about this kid that was kidnapped. It's very similar to this case that happened that I saw like the interview on Oprah not too long ago, or I saw something about it like with Oprah when I looked it up. But it was this kid that was kidnapped, and then when he was like 15 or 16, his captor like kidnapped another little like kid, and so he like helped the kid escape, and he escaped, and then he got to come back to his family. Did you guys ever see the show? It was like one of the best Lifetime movies ever, and it was called I Know My First Name is Steven. It was like 2 or 3 parts or something. It was really long. It was weird. Like, I remember, like, at the end of it, something happened, and he, like, got a bunch of money or something somehow, and he, ended up buying, like, an RV and parking it in his, like, parents' driveway and living, like, in the driveway or something. I remember it said something about that. I don't know how I remember that. But I can see the movie in my head. Anyway, Tanya was telling me that she was like watching something on TV, or so that kid ended up dying at like 24 from like some weird circumstances. I can't remember what happened. She told me tonight, but the kid in real life died, the Steven kid. Well, his biological brother, Tanya told me, it turned out that he was the, oh, what's that part called? Damn it, I wish she was here. The Yosemite Killer. That's who his biological brother ended up being. Where apparently there was like this mother and daughter, and there was like a mother and 2 daughters or something, and he like killed them and like all this horrible stuff, and like burnt the Jeep up or whatever that they were driving in. And she's like, can you imagine those poor parents? Like, and I was like, that is so weird that happened. But I don't really know much about that. But then I was at the grow station. I was at the grow station. I was at the I was at the grocery store tonight. And was that tonight? God, it feels like that was so long ago. Was that tonight or was that last night? Oh, it was tonight because I was getting dog food. I was like, what was I there getting? I was getting dog food. Because Alex had texted me and asked me to bring some dog food home earlier. I was at the gas station. I was at the grocery store. And I was getting dog food. And when I was coming out, on the cover of People magazine was this article. And it was by this girl, some grown woman. She looked like she was in her 30s. And it said, I think it was called I Was Raised by a Serial Killer, or My Father Was a Serial Killer. And her father was the BTK killer, I think it's the letters. I think it stands for bound, torture, and I don't know, something. But anyway, it stands for something. But she came out with a book or a story or something about how her dad was a serial killer. I just think that's so weird, you know? It's like one of the things they talked about in the Ted Bundy, and Ann Rule talked about in the Ted Bundy book, was the guy that kidnapped Adam Walsh. And this is what's so weird, is when the stories start overlapping that you know a lot about, right? And like as soon as they started talking about that, and it was like the guy, okay, so this is what's weird, is that you guys know I've read a lot about kidnapping cases, like back in the day. Like I would read a lot of fictional books about kidnappings. It seems like I read a lot about that. And but then I've read a lot of like nonfiction books about, you know, kidnappings as well. And when I was younger, like I would say like high school, early high school, God, have Lifetime movies been around that long? My friends and I, we used to watch them all the time. And I remember watching with my friends, my 2 friends that were twins, we watched that Adam movie. Do you guys remember that movie about Adam Walsh, who was kidnapped in the parking lot of Sears? I think it was in the parking lot. I feel like Jo Beth Williams played his mother in the movie. I love Jo Beth Williams. But anyway, and John Walsh, who's like on all these shows now, I think he might be the host of Unsolved Mysteries. No, that's the other guy. Or is he the host? But he's a host of some show like that. But anyway, so he was kidnapped and they couldn't find him. And those parents, it stopped. I didn't even know it was at the end. The parents, do you see the sun coming up? The parents, they were the ones that got the, started. The Missing Children's Registry. They're the ones that got that started, I believe, or something like that. So they have a lot to do with like missing children in the United States. That story was so interesting to me. And I don't remember I haven't read a whole lot about that case, but I do remember like watching a show, and I don't remember it going in, maybe I'm wrong, to like a whole lot about like who took Adam Walsh. But in the Ted Bundy case, it goes into the fact that he was in like the same like cell block as this, I can't think of the guy's name, but this is what's weird about it, okay? So one of them was a serial killer, and his partner, like his romantic partner, like he kidnapped Adam Walsh for his partner because they wanted to have a baby or something, but then he couldn't find a baby that day, so he ended up taking Adam Walsh and killing him or something. You guys, the story is so bizarre. And but Ted Bundy like knew them because they were like on the same cell block. Is that not creepy? I don't know. It's very creepy. And then what was so weird was while I was watching that, I started thinking about that movie, Without a Trace. That I loved that movie back in the day. Do you guys remember that movie, Without a Trace? In New York City, where the woman's son goes missing and they can't find him, and then the dad. That was so random, you guys. My windshield wipers just came on out of nowhere. I didn't have them turned on. And then the police officer and his little boy, they go find him at the end. Do you remember that? And they play the music and stuff. Oh my God, I loved that movie back in the day. I don't know why I was thinking to myself, okay, this is my train of thought. Back in the day, like, this is where, like, you can talk about conspiracy theories, that I could probably, like, convince myself that I had been kidnapped because I was, because I'm, like, so obsessed with watching all these shows, except for that I look just like my dad. My dad and I look, like, identical, right? And my mom and I, like, I have my mom's, like, eyes completely, too. Like, people are always like, oh my God, you and your mom have, like, the exact same, like, from here to here, like, I look just like my mom. And, so we were watching, what was it the other day? Some, like, talk show or something, like, I don't remember who it was. Jimmy Kimmel, maybe somebody like that, and Jay Leno was on there. You know, Jay Leno has, like, white hair now and all this kind of stuff. And Alex goes, oh my God, he looks Alex had no idea who Jay Leno was. And I go, you have no idea who Jay Leno is? Jay Leno is actually one of the very few celebrities that I've met in person. Is that not funny? Jay Leno is a huge race car fan, and like 20 years ago, God, if not like longer than that, 25 years ago, I was at Fridays. Do you guys have Fridays? So Fridays is a chain restaurant, TGI Fridays, and I was at Fridays downtown. And it was during race day weekend, and Jay Leno was there eating with a bunch of people. We were like, oh my God, that's Jay Leno. Anyway, we were watching the show the other night, and Alex was like, oh my God, he looks just like your dad. I was like, you think Jay Leno looks like my dad? And he was like, yeah, he looks just like your dad. Because he has like really, really white hair, and my dad has like really, really white hair. What is going on, you guys? This is so weird. Like, my windshield wipers just keep on coming. They're not... Do I have them turned off? How do I turn them all the way off? Weird stuff is happening tonight. I think it'll be a weird day. I'm thinking about doing a rant video today. But I get so tired of doing rant videos and people not understanding that they're funny. Like, they're not meant to be serious. People don't understand that they're a joke sometimes, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't even know what I would rant about. I was thinking about ranting going to the dentist. My tooth felt pretty good today. It's just like I can't like clamp down like really, really hard, if that makes sense. Like I can't go, you know what I mean? And I have to kind of be careful and eat, like, or chew on the other side. I have to be careful and chew on the other side. See, if I go, it's sore. But it's not even as sore as it was the other day. Yeah, I'm just ready to get the deep cleaning done. And I do think it's interesting that the pain has been going away, though, since I took the antibiotic. Don't you think that's interesting? I think it's really interesting. So I wonder if there was, like, an infection there and it, like, started taking care of that. Because each day it's definitely started to feel better and better, you know? Which I think is kind of interesting. Do you know, I have not had, like, I drive by some of these fast food places, and I haven't had, like, fast food in, well, I mean, like, Taco Bell I had not too long ago. I haven't had certain fast foods, is what I was going to say. I had Taco Bell not too long ago, and then I don't remember what I had before that. Probably White Castle, because I get, like, if I get hungry for a cheeseburger every once in a while, I'll go in there and get one of those Impossible sliders, those plant-based burgers. But, you know, just to, like, go through, like, Wendy's, or I haven't had a Diet Coke from McDonald's in a long time. I keep on saying, like, I've said on here a couple times I was going to go get one, and then I don't end up going to get one. And when Tanya and I have been going to, I've gotten a couple, like, you know, fountain Cokes, like, take-homes from restaurants, like, the other night when we went to the Luciana's Mexican restaurant, I got a take-home, pop from there. But, like, when I go with Tanya to the gas station, I haven't even been getting fountain pops. I've really, like, slowed down on that a lot. Not that it's made any huge difference, in my weight or anything like that, because it hasn't, but I kind of am like, am I up for the day now? Because I literally slept like an entire night. Like, maybe I'll just stay up and, like, read or something. Make a pot of tea. Do you guys like tea? I love tea. We leave for Miami in, like, not so long. I counted how many weeks it was. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 weeks. Should I vlog my LA trip? Are you guys excited about that? Are you excited about seeing us go to LA? I'm excited about it too. A few little fun things planned for while I'm out there, which I'm very excited about. Know what I want to do. I was talking to, who was I talking to about that? Or, oh, Sarah, because Sarah used to live in LA, and she was like, you know what you need to do? She was like, you need to do this, you need to do that. She was like telling us some stuff to do in LA. But I do have some things planned, and it's so I'm not gonna have tons of free time while I'm out there, but yeah, I really want to go to, I was talking to Mel about this actually tonight, that I want to go to, she said it, and then I was thinking to myself that I want to do it too, go to Venice Beach. I actually have a good friend of mine that lives out there. She was on a TV show. She was on that show, I think it was on, I want to say AMC. I don't know what, that can't be right. I don't know what channel it was on, but she was on that show, Freak Show. And, she and I were, like, really good friends back in the day. And, she was also on an episode of Little Women LA. Like, 1 or 2 episodes, I think. And, so I need to text her and tell her that I'm gonna be out there. I haven't seen her, God, it's been, like, probably, like, 2 years. She was home for Christmas the last time I saw her. And, but I would love to see her. So I need to text her and tell her that we're going to be out there. And then my friend's brother lives in, I think he lives in West Hollywood. And, I mean, of course I just want to, like, you know, walk down Rodeo Drive. I haven't done that since I was, like, I've only been to LA one time, and it was when I was in high school for my 16th birthday. So I'm really excited about that. Oh my God. So it's slid and turned off. It slid and it turned off. I'm right by Half Price Books. I love Half Price Books so much. Anyway. So yeah, I'm real excited about LA, and I want to meet up with some friends of mine that I haven't seen in a long time, and I've got some other things planned, and it'll be really fun. I'm excited. I haven't been to LA, you know, like I said, since I was in high school, so I don't really know, you know, what to expect. We're only there for a couple days. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Ambulance so early on a Sunday morning. That's kind of sad, isn't it? Makes you wonder what's going on. What will this Sunday hold for me? Do you guys ever just sing songs that make no sense? What will this Sunday hold for me? Sometimes Tanya and I will like sing like musicals. She loves the movie Les Miserables, and so sometimes we'll just like sing like we're in Les Miserables. Like, what did you think of the meeting tonight, Tanya Jean? I thought it was really good. I love the topic of serenity. Serenity is nice, but I prefer gratitude. We crack ourselves up doing stuff like that. We're so silly. Oh my gosh. When Tanya went to go see it, she went to go see it with another friend of ours, and our friend is like somebody that gets real embarrassed like in public and stuff like that, and so she and Tanya went into the bathroom like after the movie, and Tanya was like singing like that, and she looked up and our friend had like left the bathroom, and there was like these other people in there, and Tanya started laughing because she didn't know our friend had left. She was like, so what did you think of the movie? That so reminds me of my mom. That's the kind of shit that my mom did when I was growing up as a kid. Tanya, I cannot keep up with Tanya and her reality shows. She's like, tonight, she's like, have you watched 60 Days In? I said, no, Tanya. I'm like still on the first episode. She's like, oh my God, it's so good. I was like, you're caught up, right? And she's like, yeah, I told you that the other day. And then she's like, are you watching Celebrity Big Brother? And I was like, no, I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. She's like, oh my God, it's so good. She's like going on and on about Celebrity Big Brother. And then she and Alex both watched this show that is so bad. It's called X on the Beach. Have you guys heard of it? Okay, like Alex is like obsessed with this show. It is so dumb. But I started watching it the other night just because Farrah Abraham's on it. Is that her name? Farrah Abram or Farrah Abraham or whatever. Oh my God. She is so entertaining, and she has been literally on every reality show in the entire world. And I actually have a friend of mine that's like really good friends with her in person, in real life. And she's like, she's really nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure she is. She doesn't seem that way on the 15 TV shows that she is, but I'm sure in person she's a really nice, I'm sure she is, you know. But it's so funny because she's like, how old is Farrah now? Like 30 something, and all these other people are like in their early 20s. And she's like on this show, X on the Beach, and apparently she has like no ex or something, I don't know, which is just like couples therapy, where she went on that couples whatever, and she had no boyfriend to be on the show with. It's like all this, she never has anybody to be on these shows with, you know. This guy was like so funny this one night. He's like, you had a show, you got your own show because you had a baby in high school. He's like, they should have given me a show on MTV and called it Dude Drives a Car, because I drove a car when I was in high school. She's like, shut up, you're such an idiot. You're such an idiot. And she just like, that's what she just goes off. And then he's like, or yeah, just because you were a porn star. And she's like, yeah, I was a porn star, so what? So what about it? These shows crack me up. And Alex is just like this the whole time, like eating popcorn, like obsessed with it. Tanya is the same way. She's like, oh my God, I love that show, X on the Beach. She's like, Alex watches it too. And I'm like, yeah. And I said, it's stupid. And she goes, you think it's stupid? I go, yeah, it's so stupid. Why do you watch that show? She goes, I think it's so entertaining. I'm like, psh. I was watching something the other night. And Alex was like, they were talking about this today on Air Andy or whatever. And I go, what is that? He goes, it's Andy Cohen's radio show. And I was like, oh, Radio Andy is what it's called. And I go, do you still listen to that? He goes, I listen to it every day. And he goes, it's so good. And I go, do you really? He was like, yeah, it's really, really good. Oh, I know what it was. The John guy who was his bartender the other night, it was when RuPaul and Cynthia were the guests. And Cynthia from Atlanta, who I love her so much. Anyway, but the bartender was his friend John, who I guess was Andy Cohen's ex-boyfriend. And so like he's like the co-host or something of that show. And Alex is like, he reminds me of you. And I was like, who reminds me of you? He was like, John reminds me of you. He was like, just kind of like his mannerisms and stuff. And he goes, he's funny on the show and he reminds me of you. And I was like, that was when I was like, do you still watch that or listen to that show? He was like, yeah, every day. I love it. It's great. I guess I need to start listening to that. Oh my God. I think I might be up for the day. Yeah, I think I might be up for the day. Well, listen, folks, I'm going to cut this one real short today. I think it's just over 30 minutes right now, and I'm going to go home and upload this and maybe try to go back and lay down for another hour or two. And then get up early. Maybe we'll go to brunch early today. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. It's so pretty. I should show you what early morning in Indiana looks like with all the snow. And like you can see the sky is kind of like purple and blue. Do you see that? It's pretty. Makes you want to eat a bagel and make some coffee or tea and have breakfast in bed with your husband and snuggle with the dogs, doesn't it? And turn on a good movie. Anyway, all right, you guys, Netflix and chill. All right, I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. I hope you're relaxing. If you're watching this, please come join us for the live stream. It's a lot of fun, and you can just kind of see what one of my live streams is like. Even though it's a BookTube live stream, it won't be a whole lot different than some of my live streams. So, all right, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.